Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a good day. Hope your team is winning if you're watching football. So something I did not know. I did not know that FTX had an early investor, and that early investor was Binance. Had no idea. Not shocked by it, but I didn't know. So now Binance is pulling out all of their FTT coin. They've now moved it into position to be liquidated. Now, I suspect that they are not going to liquidate at once. It's said that they're going to do this over months. That this is a release from CZ, that they'll do it over months slowly. But it kind of begs the question, right? If you're not going to sell it in months, that means you're moving all of the coin into position to be sold was a statement. Now think about that. And the reason why I say so is because if you were going to do everything over months, then you could have moved whatever chunk of money, whatever chunk of coin you were going to sell, you could have done that over months. But you didn't. You moved all of it at once. You wanted to bring attention to the move. And I can understand why. There are lots of reasons why. Sam Bankman-Fried has been on a major tear. Some of his moves have been pretty smart. Some of them have been really odd. He spends a lot of time in Washington. He throws a lot of money around in Washington, D.C. that is. He tried to come up with his own rules on how to regulate crypto. Nobody liked that. Nobody. So is this retaliation for that? Have no idea. I'm not even going to speculate on that. What I am going to do is I'm going to look at the fact that $600 million worth of FTT coin was moved into position to be liquidated. I'm going to continue to look at how CZ came out publicly and said, yeah, we don't like certain things, we don't feel good about them, and we're making a move. That's going to send messages to a lot of people across a lot of spaces. Now, what could happen? I don't know that it is. I don't know that it has started or anything else like that. But in my mind, as I break down the research, I start sitting there and I go, well, if I'm looking at FTX and I'm holding any kind of coin in FTX, I am now moving whatever I have, whatever digital assets I have, whatever money, whatever cash I have, someplace else immediately. Something else to contemplate. This is why I don't like centralized exchanges. I like DEXs, decentralized exchanges. Why? Because that means I hold my keys for my digital assets, and then when I want to do something, I hit one of these decentralized exchanges, I do my transaction, and then I'm done. Comes back to me. I'm all good. Now, on a centralized exchange, you do not hold the keys, not your asset. In a situation like this is a move that's not really meant to take FTX out of business. I think it's more of a move like big brother smacking the crap out of little brother for doing something stupid. That's what it looks like. That's what it smells like. But it could cause a problem for FTX. It could cause a big problem for FTX. They're trying to raise more capital. Not because they need it for things that they've done. Excuse me. I believe that they're trying to raise more capital for things that they want to do, which would be cool. They've been getting licensed around the world, staying relevant. But Sam Bankman-Fried, I think, probably needs to stop doing so many interviews, stop talking so much. I think he needs to be a little bit more pragmatic in his approach. And for right now, listen, you hear me over videos, various videos that I have. You've heard me scream about, I'm not a big fan of Coinbase because of some pretty crappy stuff that they've done. But I'm just not a fan of custodial wallets. I'm just not. Centralized exchanges are custodial wallets, right? Here's something else to think about. Last week I told you, or just a few days ago actually a few weeks ago I told you, Fidelity was going to, remember everything happens in at least 2 steps. I'm going to do something and then I did it. And then sometimes the third step is, look at what we did. So I told you Fidelity was going to open up its own exchange for at least Binance Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? I thought it was going to be for institutional investors. No. No, it was for retail. And the reason why is because apparently they did a survey and their retail investors are saying the same thing their institutional investors are saying, which is, I'm holding digital assets, or I want to hold digital assets. And something that would spur me on is if where I'm managing money right now offers me custodial services. And I told you, Fidelity is a $4.5 trillion assets under management firm. 4.5 trillion. Okay, that's dwarfed by BlackRock, which is 10 trillion, but still, that is huge. Huge. Big. You want to know why they were able to give away those services for free? It's almost like Amazon. Remember back in the day, Amazon used to give Prime away? Well, now Fidelity can actually give those services away for free, because if they offer these services, people are saying, well, we'll give you more money. They already have a ton of money. Well, we'll give you more money. And now those custodial services are holding more. So more assets under management, as well as obviously maneuvering assets from this kind of, investment vehicle to this kind of investment vehicle. I have to tell you, that's pretty big. That's more than big. So when I look at Fidelity getting into the space, I said in my video the other day, if I am a Coinbase, a Kraken, Gemini, Crypto.com, if I'm Binance.us, if I am, FTX, if I am any crypto exchange who does not have enough holdings in traditional finance to weather the storm, I'm going to worry about Fidelity getting into my space. And not just getting into the space, getting all up in your space. Yeah. Sort of like that person that's on the New York City subway that decides that tiny little seat is going to fit them. And they make it fit by making you uncomfortable. So what am I expecting? I'm expecting there to be more noise because of this Binance FTX friction. I'm expecting possibly consolidation to begin in the space. I mean, you don't necessarily hear about consolidation here, but you hear about it overseas. Binance bought this company to get into the local market. Coinbase bought this company to get into the local market. Oh, somebody tried to buy this company, but the deal fell through. You see a lot of consolidation going on a global scale. It just hasn't happened here in the United States too much just yet. But I'm expecting that to possibly change. Why? Binance is looking to buy a bank. Look at any small bank, any regional bank in the United States. They're up. That could be a strong possibility. So Binance is looking to buy a bank with their $1 billion ready and primed to go buy something. FTX bought a piece of Robinhood. Good move, bad move, but that's more toward traditional finance. They've taken over Voyager's assets, which gives them technology. People are sleeping on this. Sam Bankman-Fried is a techie. He understands how things work. He's made a lot more money by creating bots than he has with anything else. So don't count him out. But I do think that consolidation is bound to happen. Something else that I'm paying attention to. I'm looking at all of these, and I mentioned this a couple of days ago. All of these banks, big banks, JP Morgan, on one hand saying they're not interested in crypto, on the other hand getting all up in it. You have a lot of banks, Citi, getting in. You have a lot of banks that are getting into crypto. And you have other banks that are just like, no, we have no interest. I'm not going to drop any names on what banks are not doing anything, but I want you to look at any bank, take the top 5 banks. Here's homework for you. Go look at the top 5 banks in the United States and check off who's in crypto and who's not in crypto. Whoever's not in crypto, significantly, I think those banks are open to get chopped up and bought up. Straight up. And the reason why is because how are you not investing in the future? Crypto is here and now, and it's going to be bigger in the future. How are you not investing in your future? That's like, I'm still using Windows, the first version. Like the first real Windows version was like 3.0. How are you using Windows 3.0 and you're not using, Windows 11 right now? It's nuts. Cans with string versus walkie-talkie. And some of these banks have consciously made the decision, we're not doing anything in crypto. How long do you think that bank is going to last? What is the value of that bank, of that traditional financial institution? What's the value of that traditional financial institution? Assets under management, customer base. Chances are their technology sucks. Practices probably suck. Somebody could come in and say, we want to take this portion of your business, this portion of it, and just divvy it up and move on. Don't believe me? Do some research on the consolidation of banks over the past, say, 30 years. Manufacturers Hanover, Chase Manhattan. Yeah, that used to be a thing. Manufacturers Hanover did not survive. So when I look at this whole thing between FTX and Binance, I'm thinking that's going to have a ripple effect, a big time ripple effect. Gemini could also be up for grabs. And the reason why I say so is because they went through tremendous layoffs. Why? Because they lost a lot of freaking money. That's why. They weren't doing so well. So if you look at these exchanges that aren't doing so hot, they could be up for grabs easily. Now you could start to see some of the smaller players buy other smaller players and start to get big. Look at TD Ameritrade. That's what they did. There used to be a bank in New York, little regional bank called Commerce Bank. They bought Commerce Bank, and they bought a few other regional banks to become TD Bank. That's right, TD Bank, TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim. Yep. So that's what I'm looking at for the next week. I'm looking at bigger news coming out because of this whole FTX, Binance problem that Sam Bankman-Fried has created for himself. Sam, you might want to shut up. Clean up your messes. Be more pragmatic. But I think those are also opportunities. I think they are opportunities. I also noticed that today, Bitcoin is still doing well. Polygon is doing well. DOGE is doing well. Shiba Inu is doing well. Yes, they have given back some of their positive gains, but that's kind of to be expected, right? They're going to hit all the way up here. People are going to start profit taking, starts to drop. Now we just have to see, well, where does it stop? Where does that drop stop? That establishes a new kind of soft low. And any positive news will happen right there. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. That's my Sunday roundup. I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.